The case of Asia Bibi, the Christian woman in Pakistan who spent several years on death row, having been convicted of blasphemy. The Supreme Court earlier this week decided that she was not guilty and released her. However, a deal has apparently been done after 3 days of protest to bring those protests to an end with the government. It's not clear, though, exactly what the details are. Let's talk now to Wilson Chowdhury. Wilson's chairman of the British Pakistani Christian Association. He's with me in the studio. You know the family well. Indeed. Joy for them that she's finally been free, but a certain amount of fear about what the consequences might be.
Well, in essence, obviously the initial gut feeling for Pakistani Christian diasporas across the globe and those in the homeland was immense joy. But there was always the fear that the riots would break out, and the predictions came true. It does seem as if a statement has gone out by the government, which would suggest that Asia Bibi's name will be put onto a controlled exit list, and also and that she may have her verdict petitioned by an extremist group that has
challenging
the verdict.
Can you just, for those who don't know the case and may not be familiar with Pakistan's very strict blasphemy laws, what exactly it was she was accused of? Is it simply practicing her faith, or was there a particular thing that she had done that had outraged those who support the blasphemy?
Well, on a hot day, Asia Bibi was quite parched. She'd been picking berries. She went to a well, she pumped some water into a bowl that was placed there. She took a sip, she drank a bit more, quenched her thirst, and decided to share some with her colleagues. They threw the bowl at her.
Because she was a Christian?
Because she was a Christian. They said her ritual impurity had contaminated the whole that bowl and the water from the well. She was, during the argument, she said, "My Christ died for me, what did Muhammad do for you?" This resulted in an allegation of blasphemy. She was beaten. Some reports say much worse happened, and I'm sure in an autobiography that will be released, more will be revealed. But then she was placed under trumped-up blasphemy charges and remained incarcerated for 10 years with a death sentence hanging over her.
It seems extraordinary in a week when we've been reporting Ireland's referendum scrapping its blasphemy law, a law that I think I'm right to say was never actually used against anyone, that in Pakistan blasphemy laws remain such an important part of both the legal system and also the politics of the country.
Well, indeed. I mean, don't forget these were introduced by the British, but when they were introduced by the British, they were a public order offence with a small fine and a very small sentence, if any. They were Islamicised in the 1980s, and now they're used as a tool for discrimination. Pakistani Christians across Pakistan are always fearful that they could be used against them in a small petty argument.
Her lawyer has said today that he's leaving the country, or has left the country, because he doesn't feel safe. Are you worried about her safety while she remains in Pakistan?
It's untenable that Asia Bibi could remain in Pakistan. If you look at the level of animosity, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of rioters, not protesters, burning ties, attacking each other, killing themselves in their fervent anger that this woman has been set free. If she steps foot out of her home and is recognised, she will instantaneously be killed.
You have no doubt about that?
I've no doubt about it. If anything, Western nations should be jumping at the chance to